NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, I'm speechless. I am speechless. I can't even say what's popping because I'm speechless tonight on what happened. 33 seconds left, the Knicks up 9, and they lose this game in overtime. This is a hard pill to swallow, ladies and gentlemen, and I know there's a lot of people with a lot of things to say. That we might as well go ahead and get right to it. We got the cast, we got the crew in the building. Man. Fellas, what's popping, man? Talk to me. Uncle Fulio, what's up?
Salute Sam, NBKFam, the chat. Happy holidays to everyone. The holidays are clearly over after tonight.
Yeah, shut up, Josh. Nobody want to hear that.
No, you still got New Year coming up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I don't have to go back to work till after that, so it's still a holiday for me. Listen. The Knicks played well enough to win this ball game. They played well enough to win the last 2 games. The Toronto game, no, I don't think so. Right? But this game plus the last 2, they played well enough to win. And last week we had the conversation, and Sim was like, even if the Knicks play well, but they come out with a loss, you can kind of live with that. But as of right now, you see the reaction on Tony's face, Isaiah complaining in the backstage.
Hold up. That's not everything I said. I said the story of the game means something. The story of the game dictates if you can live with the win. I didn't say just because it's close. I said the story of the game.
I didn't say anything about it being close. I said the way the Knicks played, which is basically what you said in regards to the story of the game.
The story of the game.
Okay, the story of the game. Let's go with that. The story of the game that some fans can live with certain losses, but me, I speak fluent Nick, and I told you this. When the Knicks lose these ball games, the fans are not going to want to hear any of that stuff. The Knicks clearly played well enough to win tonight, the last 2 games, but they just couldn't pull it out at the end, and it's unfortunate, but this is the team that we got right now.
Right, but see, here's why I disagree. If it was 33 seconds and this game was tied at 105 and the Knicks ended up losing, I think fans would be like, oh, you know what? Jalen Brunson wasn't there. RJ Barrett wasn't there. It was, the Knicks were right there. But the Knicks were up 9 with 33 seconds and blew it because they didn't do the little things. So that's what makes people more upset. The story of the game. I think it's the story of the game. Not just because it was close and they didn't pull it out. It's the story of the game. You know what I mean? People understand where the Knicks are. But the story of this game is that the Knicks had been up 14 points without these players there and with Luka doing everything that he was doing. And then with 33 seconds left in regulation, they couldn't secure the rebounds to finish this game out. They gave up an offensive rebound to Luka, who got fouled on the putback. And then they gave up another offensive rebound on that miraculous shot at the end of regulation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the story of this game. And I think the story definitely says something about how you feel about coming away with a win or a loss.
I agree, Sam. Listen, I'm all about the story. I mean, I've been saying that for the last couple of years. I'm all about the story. But let me ask you a question. Do you think the Knicks played well enough to win this ball game?
Of course they did.
Okay.
Except for the last 33 seconds.
Okay.
Right? Because they didn't do those little things, and that's the story of the game. If the story of the game was with 33 seconds left, the game was tied, people would come away feeling a little bit different. But that wasn't the story of the game.
I don't agree, but someone else can go.
The story of the game means a whole lot. Go ahead, Tony.
Shout out to the chat. Go Black is time. Shout out to Josh, Isaiah, Sim. To me, it's about why we lost. Like that's because we here to talk about this game, right? And this game, why we lost. I think at least 50% of the blame has to go to Tibbs. 100%.
Why you say that?
I mean, number one reason on my list, because I have a list, but the number one reason is actually fouling when y'all up 3. Because that's not even his MO. We've been in this position numerous of times, and Tibbs does not foul. Now all of a sudden you want to foul when we up 3?
I agree. I was
Instead
surprised.
Of trusting your defense?
I was definitely surprised at that. Tibbs normally does not foul when you're up 3. He went away with something that he went away from something that he normally doesn't do that, and he fouled. I was surprised. Go ahead, Tony.
That made no sense to me, and from right there, it just told me you didn't trust the unit that was out there. But I mean, you could split the other 50% amongst other things that happened during that fourth quarter. But why would you? I did not understand why he did that. The minutes that, I mean, I heard the tail end of your conversation. The minutes has been consistent as far as like people getting 30 plus minutes and the 9-man rotation, but this was a prime opportunity to kind of extend that, and Tibbs didn't go there either. Did we play well enough to win? We did, but now we go into those little things that you was mentioning, Sim. Free throws again.
Free throws.
Randle, I'm so disappointed in, because I feel like he was stuck in a place between wanting to take over but shying away from. Like when they came to the end of the game, he wasn't trying to touch the ball.
He didn't touch.
He was
the
not
ball.
trying to get those free.
He didn't touch the ball.
Get to the line. When Deuce McBride got it 2 times in a row, like he was running from the ball. He was not trying to get the ball. Come on, like RJ ain't here, Brunson ain't here. You supposed to take over, and you letting the ball go to McBride. This was a disappointing game to me. From a whole bunch of different facets. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we played well enough to win the game. We should have won the game, but all that is null and void because of the way we lost.
Yeah.
To me.
Right.
Personally.
Right. And that's how I feel. The way that we lost, the story of the game. And it really comes down to the last 33 seconds and overtime. The last 33 seconds and overtime, but the last 33 seconds. You know what I mean? It really comes down to that. Up 9 with 33 seconds, and you can't secure the game. You can't secure the game with doing those little things, getting rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. You know what I mean? You got to be able to secure that win. You got to be able to secure the win. I mean, there's no excuses, in my opinion. There's no excuses. It's ugly. You up 33, up 9 with 33 seconds. You got to win it. Isaiah.
Shout out to you, Sim. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to the NBK family. I want to start off by this. Can we please, this is for everybody in chat, please, please, please. Cam's not playing. Cam is getting traded. He's not going to play for the Knicks. Please stop saying in the comments, why didn't he play Cam? Why didn't he play Cam? Cam is not on the Knicks no more. He is going to be traded. Please. Okay. I've been a Knicks fan for 29 years. My daddy told me how to be a Knicks fan. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. But I've never seen in my 29 years, and I was a baby when the Reggie Miller thing happened. I've never seen a Knicks team give up 9 points in 33 seconds. Never in my life. Never. I've seen a lot of Knicks losses as a kid. Mid-2000 Knicks, I mean, that's too many to count. Never seen one like this before. Where, like you said, Sim, Just do the little things that you've been doing since you were a kid. You win the game. Again, Tony, you made me forget. It was so much crazy stuff going on that I literally forgot that they fouled Luka when we up 3 when we never do that. We never do that.
Yeah.
I'm against that. I don't believe you should do that. Make them make a shot. Thibs, I don't get why Thibs did that. I thought towards the end, like Sim said, we didn't do the little things. We, again, for some reason, we got very, very, very lackadaisical when it came to just closing out. You letting Christian Wood, who was shooting good today, just let him throw up shots. Just let him throw up shots. He just not closing out. Randle being lazy, just not closing out shots. Again, not securing the rebound. I mean, these guys weren't going to give up. And I guarantee you, the Knicks saw the crowd leaving. They thought, oh, this is going to be wrapped up. This is over. Randall's thinking about going out with his friends. Bro, finish the game. You're professionals. Finish the game. Now look at you. You guys look like sorry asses. 4 losses in a row. When we clearly should have, we should at least, I'll be fair, we shouldn't have beat the Raptors. We should have beat the Bulls, and we should have beat
Oh, you said we shouldn't have beat the Bulls?
No, we should have beat the Bulls.
Oh.
We should have beat the Bulls, and we should have beat the Mavs tonight. My thing is, this is the second year, like the second or third year in a row, free throws. I am so sick of this team of we just finding dudes that just can't hit free throws. Like I'm just tired of it. Like can we get a team that can we one time have a team that's like 85% from the field or 84% from the free throw line for a season? Can we get that for one time? Like I'm tired of this, bro. It's crazy. Like for me, I feel like we haven't been a good free throw shooting team since we won 54 games. That's the last time I feel like we was a good free throw shooting team.
We've been at 80% most of the year. I don't know where we at right now, but most of the year we've been at 80%.
I think we're around high 70s, or maybe it's around 74, 75. I don't know.
But it just bothers me because like I'm watching the game, man. The crowd's gone, everybody's leaving. It's just the game's over, but it's just I don't know. This one sucked. This one really sucked, and just between Thibs coaching these last couple of games, we gonna talk about it. But this
we talking about it. What you mean we gonna talk about it? Talk about it. We talking about it.
It's just certain thing that just throwing me off right now. It's just like, I'm completely done with Isaiah Hartenstein. I'm completely done. The dude doesn't need to play. He's bad. He's bad. There's no doubt about it. He's bad. D Rose is
bad. Where?
But that's not the reason we lost this basketball game. Or he's not the reason we lost. He's not the reason we lost versus.
But Sam, I'm pointing out things that I'm saying during the game.
I dig it, but
I think he played one of his better games today.
I don't think
he's not the reason we lost.
I don't think he played that.
Yeah. I'm not going to go on Hartenstein, but I do want to come back to Tony's point. He said your number
well,
one
at least
reason.
not one of his worst.
Right. Yeah. I want to go back to one of your points, Tony, about Tibbs and the take foul. Now, I agree with you. Tibbs normally doesn't go with that strategy, but do you think that was one of the reasons why we lost this game? Obvious, and that's a question I'm gonna have you respond. But do you that was the strategy going into it? The Knicks could have played it one of two ways. You either let Luka or someone else on the other team take the 3-point shot, or try to get to the free throw line, or whatever the case may be, or you can do the toe take foul thing, have him make the free throws or whatever. But Luka was destroying us in the fourth quarter. So I don't have an issue with this take foul specifically, and I don't think that lost us the ball game. I hope that's not what you're saying.
Could it have lost the ball game? Yes. We don't know what would happen because it didn't happen that way. But
why would you say? So why is that number one on your list?
With us not taking a foul. We've debated after games before. Oh, should we have taken a foul when we was up 3? We've debated this. But my point is, why all of a sudden are you going against your strategy when I believed in his strategy of play defense? You don't let them take the 3. You defend against the 3. That's the only thing that hurts you.
Well, we didn't let him take the 3 because he only shot 2 free throws. We didn't let him take the 3. We didn't let him take 3 because he only shot 2 free throws. We were in the penalty and we let him take 2 free throws.
But hold on, Joe. Look how that bites you.
Situation, there was enough time. If the ball went to the 3-point line, they could have won it in regulation. like, so if he misses the second free throw and the ball caroms out to the 3 and one of the guys get it, we could have lost in regulation.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple ways we could have lost it. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why it's number one on your list. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why is that number one?
Because
that's not his MO. We've debated this numerous times. Now all of a sudden he's going against what he believes in. Like,
listen, we missed a ton of free throws tonight. I think that's bigger than the strategy of. We missed a ton of free throws tonight down the stretch of the game. I think that's a bigger reason as to why we lost this game than Tibbs opting with going with the strategy of giving up the take foul when Luka was destroying us in the fourth quarter. I'm not saying I don't agree with that. Tibbs normally doesn't go with that MO.
I'm saying Tibbs is 50% of the reason we lost, and you could divide the rest of it because there's a number of things that I think he did wrong tonight.
George, hold on. You cannot say, and we all know no coach is perfect. There's no such thing as a coach having a perfect game, but you have to admit his coaching tonight wasn't just not really up to par. Again, like Tony's been saying, when is the last time you seen Tibbs up 3 tell him to foul so he can shoot 2?
Did that lose us the game? No, is what I'm trying to get at. That's
hold
what
on,
we're talking about.
but you're not. I don't think you
can argue it did lose us the game because we lost.
I don't think you understand what Tony is saying. Tony's saying, maybe, and Tony, tell me if I'm wrong, but Tony's saying that, look, they have to win. They have to take it. They need to take a 3. They need to take a 3 to tie the game. Why would you let them go up 2? Then you got more pressure on you to hit your free throws or from away. That's more. To be honest with you, that's more pressure on the Knicks than Luka and them taking a 3. I'd rather be up 3 and then forcing them to take a shot playing because they have to go shoot a 3. You got to go make your free throws if they what you call it. Because if you don't, they make another shot, they up the lead. They can win the game.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many at that point. There's so many unknowns in the game. Even with 15 seconds left and the game being that close, there's so many unknowns.
But Josh, he never does it though. That's the thing. Stibbs never does that. I even look like, yo.
I was surprised because he normally doesn't do it, right? But the thing is, you still secure the rebound because if you secure that rebound, yes, you go down to the other side and you shoot free throws. You make your free throws. You know, they got to come back down and they got to try to make another 3. Now, if you choose not to foul, they easily could have shot up a 3 and missed it. There was 4.whatever seconds left in the game, right? When he took that. When he fouled him, put him on the line, was it 4-point-something seconds left?
Yeah.
4-point-something seconds left. For the most part, they're taking the last shot, right? They're taking the last shot of the game because he's going to take a couple more dribbles and then pull it up. You know what I mean? Me, personally, I take my chance with that.
Play defense.
But
I don't know. I mean, no. I hear you, Sam, because you can argue either way. But this is what I'm trying to say, Tony, real quick. You can go after this. I just think no matter what the decision that was made, whatever the case may be, me personally, I don't mind the decision, right? Because Luka was destroying us in the fourth quarter. We playing tight defense on him, and he was hitting every single shot. Dude had 60 points tonight, triple-double, right? Either way, if the Knicks would have lost this ball game, people are going to blame that decision no matter what. That's what I'm saying. To me, I don't think that was or Tibbs is half of the reason why we lost this ball game.
I want to add,
if we won the game, I would have came in here with the same energy about that decision he made.
So I want to ask this. Fair. I want to ask this. What else? Because I feel like what else did Tibbs do on the night that wasn't good, right? Because I feel like
I can tell you right now,
hold on, without Jalen, without RJ, the Knicks was up 9 with 33 seconds left in the game, and Luka was still having a monster game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess he probably had 50 points at that point in time, right? Above 50 at that point in time. He was still having a monster game, and the Knicks were up 9 with 33 seconds left. What else did he do wrong throughout the game besides that call that, some people may make it, some people may not make it. Me personally, I would have let him go ahead and shoot it. Some people he made that call to go ahead and foul him, which, you still in the end, you got to get the offensive you got to get the defensive rebound. The player got to get the rebound, right? But what else throughout the game
Right.
did he do?
Throughout the game?
Yeah.
Well, to me, it correlates. And I'm going to say, all right, down the stretch. You playing deuce down the stretch. Again, it correlates to the previous decision. You playing deuce down the stretch because of defense. But now you do something that you saying you don't trust your defense. It didn't make sense to me.
But it was Grimes who fouled him.
Right. Grimes
It
was
was
the one that
Grimes
fouled
who
him.
was on him.
Grimes that fouled Luka?
Luka.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was Grimes who took the foul, not Deuce.
But that was it. Don't matter who took the foul. The decision was to foul. It wasn't like he fouled him by playing defense. He took a foul. My point is, you went with you played deuce down the stretch because you believe in the defense, but yet you deciding to foul is saying you don't believe in the defense.
That has
doesn't make
absolutely,
sense to
Tony.
me.
I think you're on my line. I think you're just reaching right there for this point. First of all, that's a decision that was made, right? Luka made one of the free throws or whatever. We didn't secure the rebound. That's on the players. That's on the players. Not to mention all the free throws we mentioned. To say that it's Tibbs is 50% of the reason why we lost this ball game. To me, that's a reach. The Knicks played well enough to win till the end, like Sim said. The decision was made to foul or whatever, but was killing us. No matter how tight the defense was playing on him, he was destroying us. There's nothing we can do about that. Personally, Sim said he wouldn't have fouled. Me, I can understand a coach making the situation, making that decision at that point in the game. Because no matter what defense, hold on, Isaiah. Because no matter what defense we was putting on Luka, we could not stop him. Deuce, Grimes, Randle, nobody. He was making shot after shot. So I just I don't think that is the biggest part of this game. I'm sorry.
I wasn't even trying to go to the whole Cam argument because I know he's not playing. I know what it is. But theoretically, he didn't do everything.
You think that would have made a difference?
What?
You think that would have made a difference in stopping Luka?
There's no point of
we don't know.
That's the argument. That's the argument. That's what we're talking about.
There's no point of talking about Cam. He's not playing.
I could argue yes and not be able to prove it. You could argue no and not be able to prove it.
I don't know. I me personally, I don't know if I don't think it would have changed anything because just when I look at they were up 9 with 33 seconds left.
Exactly.
Now. Darren Wayne,
that might have changed the whole game in general. Like we don't know what the game would have been because he didn't play. But I'm not trying to make the whole hypothetical argument and push for it. I know what it is.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is he could have went a different direction down the stretch. He could have went big to get to secure the rebound. There's a bunch of things that he could have did that changes the outcome. Yeah. Like it felt like he was just as scared as the players, which is not like he broke.
Come on.
I felt like Tibbs broke and the team broke.
I mean, when I look at the plays that happened down the stretch, it didn't feel to me like it was. I can understand what Darren Waynes was saying. Put Sims in, to be on the line to secure the rebound, right? I can get that, to help secure that rebound down the stretch. You had Mitch. You had Julius Randle down there who had been. Mitch had 16 rebounds tonight. Julius Randle had 18 rebounds tonight. I don't know where else you were going to put Jericho Sims in to secure a rebound because you had Mitchell Robinson with JaVale McGee right there, and you had Julius Randle with whoever on the opposite side, and those two guys were rebounding all night long. Could you have put Sims in?
It's not the responsibility of the two guys on the baseline to box out the shooter. It's not their responsibility. They're supposed to box out on the baseline or those two guys in the middle. Someone else has to box out the shooter.
To me, I'm gonna keep it 100. The way I feel is like not like I believe in basketball gods, but let's say theoretically, right? Now, seriously, when Tibbs went away from what he normally does, all this weird stuff is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Two people had that rebound. Grimes had it, and I believe Randle had it before Grimes, and it ends up in Luka's hands. Like it was weird. So that's the type of stuff that happens when you don't stick with what with you know what I mean. Stick with your theory. Stick
And
with your belief.
and I'm
you
gonna say
go
that,
against the grain.
and
I believe that. Like
I mean,
he opened the door to
I'm just saying,
all
I
this crazy stuff.
I can understand, you know, someone questioning the call. I'm just saying throughout the game, I don't know what else, you know, people would say he did wrong throughout the game when
Right.
you had a 9-point lead with 33 seconds to go. At that point, in my opinion, it is on the players to make the plays because those plays were there to be made. You know, make those plays to win the basketball game. You know what I mean? I mean, you get fouled and you go to the line, knock down your free throws. You know what I'm saying? To secure the basketball game. You know what I mean? Because that's.
But when you say that, are you saying because we were up 9 with 35 seconds, everything that happened before that is irrelevant?
I mean, I'm not saying is it
Because
irrelevant?
I mean, because if that's what you're saying, I kind of I get it because we should have won from if you just start ending the game right there, starting the game right there, up 9, 35 seconds, you're gonna win 99 times out of 100. Any team, the Magic, the OKC, whomever it is, they're gonna win a high percentage of the time. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like if you just put them in that scenario, boom.
I'm not saying it's irrelevant because you can still analyze that portion of the basketball game, but what I'm saying is during that time, I would say he was probably doing a good job coaching with an undermanned team. You know what I'm saying? For this team to be up 9 with 33 seconds left, and in your closing lineup, you have two guys who are normally there as closers, not there. And throughout the, you know, I mean, RJ went out early in the game.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
You know?
I was gonna get to like there's a lot of good stuff that I saw tonight. You know what I mean? But I you know, we on a 4-game
losing streak right now.
4-game losing streak right now. Like so, and I haven't been on in a little while. I gotta get my frustrations out.
You know.
But tonight there was a lot of good stuff. Like we actually went to Mitch in the post a few times.
And,
you know what I mean, to start the game, I believe, and all that.
I mean,
like that was nice to see.
Right. No, we did. And part of it is because, like we talked about it earlier, Mitchell Robinson got the size advantage over Christian Wood, and we said, yo, you can use it. I'm expecting Mitchell Robinson to dominate using his size, and he did early in the game. They were going to him, and Robinson had 20 points, 16 rebounds tonight. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
You know, I mean, the Knicks did.
Can I say something?
The Knicks did things.
Grimes career high.
Close it. Yeah, Quentin Grimes. I'll come back to you guys there. Quentin Grimes career high, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He was playing a good basketball game, right? 48% from the field. It was 44% from the 3-point line. Julius Randle had 29 points and 18 rebounds. He shot well, 47.8% from the field, 45% from the 3-point line. Only 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Mitchell Robinson, 20 points and 16 rebounds. Emmanuel Quickley had 13 points and 15 assists. Miles McBride had 14 points. He was actually 5 for 6 from the free throw line, so he only missed 1. The thing is, you know, down the stretch, the wrong guys, you know, they fouled Miles McBride a couple of times because in the fourth quarter, I think only Miles McBride and Mitchell Robinson shot free throws, right? So Miles missed 1, and then of course Mitch missed a few free throws down the stretch. Missed 3, I believe, down the stretch. You know, it's tough, ladies and gentlemen. It's tough when you give away a game like this. It is tough. Yeah, not a good game. Not a good not a good game, man. Not a good feeling. But you know what? Maybe the last time we felt like this, the Knicks lost to the Mavericks, then they went on an 8-game winning streak. Let's hope the same thing happens. I don't know that it will, but let's hope the same thing happens. Because
can I ask a question, a rhetorical question? Well, what was worse, that last Dallas game or this one?
This one.
This one to me too, because I don't think I got to see that other game. I think I missed it.
To me, it's this one. To me, it's this one. Like at the end of the game, you knew the Knicks lost, and they lost it in the third quarter. They were outscored 41-15 in the third. They lost it in the third. To me, it's this one because you had the game in your hand. All you gotta do is the little things. The game is in your hand, and you got to do the little things.
Does not having RJ and Brunson make it feel a little bit better?
No, not for me. Not for me.
You know why? Because of the way we want. Because of the way the circumstances.
Exactly.
Because we up 9 with 30. You know what I mean? If we lost by 10 in regulation and you know what I mean, we fought back and it'd be like, oh yeah, good spirit team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good effort. No, we blew this game, and there's no way around it.
I agree.
And we've blown. I think at least two of the last 4 in this losing streak.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like literally blown it. Like this again. You put any other team in this scenario 100 times, they're gonna be like 90%, 90-something%.
Well. Here's the thing. For me, I think the Dallas, the other one was. You can go after me. I'm sorry. I think the other Dallas loss was worse because. Like when we were having the conversation last week, and the reason why we brought it up is because I would rather see the Knicks be competitive in a lot of these ball games before they were not competitive. And like a couple years ago, we would have got blown out. When Luka's doing that, and we don't have 2 of our top players in our start lineup, we would have got blown out. Tonight we kept the game close, even though we didn't pull it out at the end from some of the mistakes we made. I can at least hang my hat on this Knicks team is going to compete, and this is now game 14 that we've lost this season by 6 or less points. Yeah. So I just like the fact that the Knicks are competing, and I think ultimately all this experience that they're getting playing in these tight games,
George,
they're gonna build with that.
Hold on, let me just respond to that. Then I'm gonna come to you. I agree with you. I think all of these crazy losses and stuff is going to help them build some mental toughness later on. You know what I mean? They're gonna be able to draw back on these experiences and say, "What did we do last time? We're not gonna do that again." And I do think this team learns as they go a lot. I really do. I think they learn a lot as they go. When I look at the last game, though, the Knicks were in this situation where they didn't really know, in my opinion, who they were offensively or defensively. I feel like the Knicks are more sure of themselves right now, at least on the defensive side, which is good to me. And they're figuring some things out offensively. You know what I mean? And that's why this one stings a little bit more to me, because I feel like they know who they are defensively. They're a little bit more sure of themselves. And now we have a trend growing of them collapsing in situations. And we're seeing this trend over the last 4 games. We're seeing this trend where they collapse. Even against Philadelphia, the Knicks were up 1 after 3, and they collapsed in the fourth quarter, right? And couldn't score in the fourth. So now we're seeing this trend of them collapse. And I know Brunson wasn't there, but they've collapsed the last 3 games, even with Brunson there.
With him there, yep.
So we're seeing that they're collapsing, and you don't like to see that. You don't like to see that. We're hoping that they learn from it and it's going to make them better in the long run. But I do agree. 2 of the last 4 losses, you needed 2 players to have the best games of their careers. And I'm not taking any kind of what do you call it? I can't even.
Not taking anything away from Embiid or Harden.
I'm not taking this as one of those kind of wins for us, right? Morale win or whatever.
Moral victory.
A moral victory. I'm not looking for that to be a moral victory. I'm just saying the Knicks have played well enough to the point where these guys have had to have like super duper games. 52 points from who was it? Grant or whoever it was. 52 points from him. A 60-point triple double from Luka in order, to win this basketball game. That does say something good about your team, but you can't collapse. You got to figure out how not to collapse when you have these kind of leads, man.
Sim, I agree with you, but it also goes to another point. like last game, I know you want to talk. I'm sorry. The last game against Philly on Christmas, like Embiid and Harden, those players, like the Knicks. I like the fact that the Knicks are competing in these ball games, and sometimes you're gonna have these games where your defense is gonna shut some of those guys down, or you're gonna hold them to under their season high or whatever, and that'll give you a chance to win those ball games. But the fact that the Knicks are competing in these ball games, the only thing we're missing is a player like that, like a Luka, like an Embiid, like a Harden, to take us to that next level. That's the point that I'm trying to get across to everybody. Like, the Knicks are going to compete. I like the way we fight. You know what I mean? And I understand why everyone is so optimistic about them. Everyone's giving me kudos for being optimistic right now. But that's the difference.
I agree.
Come playoff time is really going to show. But
I agree. But
we'll see.
But until
Josh is just in the holiday spirit. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But
watch after the New Year, it's gonna be back to the old Josh.
Yeah. but until you get that guy, it's a continuous learning process. You know what I mean? To be able to win these basketball games, and you got to figure it out. Big Isaiah, man, go ahead.
Sorry, Bubba, my bad.
No, you ain't sorry. I talked for half an hour and I was just being quiet.
We know you was just being. We get it.
I'm tired of hearing that. No disrespect, but
of hearing what?
I'm tired of learning in close games, and this is 6 games, bro. We did this. I literally talked about this during the off season about the Knicks gave up. I believe last year the Knicks lost 6 games when they were up by 20. That was 6 games. That caused us from being. We were 37-45. We could have been 43 and whatever, 43 and 30 something. This is 2 games in the last 4. I can't remember all the games. So how many games you said, Josh, this year so far?
14.
Like 14 or 15. 14 or 15. 6 or less points.
That we lost.
We lost by 6 or less points.
That's sorry. We got to do better, because that's what keeps you from. That's what makes you be a 6 seed or playing in the plan. These games where you do this, just in the last 4, we lost by 1 point, and then we lost with 9 points. I'm tired of hearing that they're learning. Bro, do it. I'm sorry, these guys have been in situations before. Do it.
But Isaiah, it is a learning process, because Miles McBride has not been in that situation in the NBA.
Okay, but
Quentin Grimes has barely been in that situation.
Okay,
right. So it is a learning process.
Okay, I fully understand that. But let me go back to what Tony was saying. And this is where I gotta rip Randle. Get the damn ball. Like,
I get it. You're right.
Like, yo, it pisses me off because, like, I know we don't have that player. We haven't had it since Carmelo. And I mean, if you want to be kind of frank, we haven't had it since KP. But that's a whole different discussion. But I'm not comparing KP to Carmelo. Relax. But we haven't had that kind of player that demands attention to me. Like Randle. Why? There should be no reason why Randle didn't have 30 points. 30-something points tonight. He should have had 30-something points tonight. Bro, go get the ball. Why are you having McBride? McBride. And I love the kid a lot. But why are you having him? Go get the damn ball, bro.
I think the issue with your take is your expectations. You keep expecting Julius Randle to be someone that he is not. That's the problem. Your expectations.
No. First of all, sometimes he tries to be. So to say someone he's not, like, this was his prime opportunity to go be the guy that you feel like.
I tried to be like Spider-Man on Halloween and climb a wall, but I fell.
No, hold on, no. See, George, this I can't let you get through.
Then
because
he missed one.
This is the problem.
Go ahead.
Instead of McBride,
sorry, my bad.
Or instead of Grimes, you know what I mean? Like,
because that's the problem. So you want to take the last shot, but you don't want to get the free throws.
I don't know if he necessarily doesn't want it. I have to go back and look at it. I was, throughout the game. Hold on. I was throughout the game because I was throughout the game saying, okay, get Randle the ball, let him go to the basket, let him try to score. When it got down to those last few seconds, and we needed to be able to score the ball, or asking, okay, why is Miles McBride the one that keeps going to the free throw line. But you also got to understand that teams will say, we want this guy to shoot the ball. How do we take this guy out?
That's a fact.
Right? So they might have two guys on him. I need to go back and look at it and really see those last few seconds when it came to shooting those free throws. If they were trying to put two on him, to keep him from getting the ball or what. I mean, because that happens. We want this guy to shoot it. So this is what we're going to do. I can't. I don't remember, looking at it in that way to see if that was the case or not. You know what I'm saying? Because, everything's happening in the game. I'm not focused on just that.
And I want to make something very clear. And I know y'all going to give me pushback for this. I got to say it. I'm going to be the one to say it. The refs, that last minute was some of the worst officiating I've ever seen. I have to call it.
Bro, I am sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not putting this on the referees.
I'm not fully putting. But Sim,
the Knicks lost this game. They were up 9 with 33 seconds left. They lost the game. I don't care what the rest.
But Sim,
come on.
But hold on. This is the thing. You can't tell me that. And I talked to you about this before the show. I've never seen a jump ball happen that quick on a double team. I've never seen it.
But listen,
I've never seen it.
Listen, bad calls happen every game. It's going to happen.
I've never seen but Sam, he had a 5-second call that they did not call. He had the ball for 5 seconds.
Listen,
and they didn't call it.
Hold on. What are you talking about? Out of bounds?
Out of bounds one when Luka, the Tibbs was arguing whether he should have 5 seconds out of bounds.
Right. We had a backcourt violation too. So
yeah, I mean, listen, I cannot blame this on you. No way, no how can you blame this on the referees. The Knicks collapsed themselves, man. They collapsed themselves. They didn't do little things. They collapsed themselves.
I can't believe we gave up 9 points in 33 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. The referees didn't give them 9 points.
Oh, man.
Even when Luka got fouled, even when he got the offensive rebound and he got fouled, at first I was like, where's the foul? Then when they showed it, Emmanuel Quickley had both hands on his back. It's a foul.
Yep.
We need some tall players, man. I'm tired of this short ass team. We need some tall players, man. No, George, you think I'm laughing, man? See,
I agree with you. I agree with you, but you bring up every excuse in the book.
No.
It feels like this. It feels like it, Isaiah.
It does, Isaiah. It feels like you're looking for an excuse when the excuse is
I'm not looking for an excuse because
the
I'm just
Knicks.
frustrated because it's like
that's the excuse.
But Sam, here's my thing. I just get frustrated because it's like, yo, you have opportunities to me to draft certain players that can be tall, would be tall and lanky that can help you. You don't do that. You don't go to the offseason trying to get a 3-and-D guy. Like I'm just saying, like these things hurt you when you have a freaking 5-man rotation. You have a 5-man squad up there with 3 legit point guards. These are not combo guards. I mean,
and guess what? The Knicks still had a chance to win the ball game with all of that.
Yeah. We did. We got our ass kicked in the freaking.
Yo, look at you. Listen to him.
Another reason. See, I really did want to do this. But another reason why.
It's me and Tony tonight. It's me and Tony versus Sim and Josh. I like this.
You talked about we need tall players, and Fulio, you talk about you agree, but we got a 6'8" guy on the bench, right? Right? We got a 6'8" guy on the bench. Come on.
That 6'8" guy on the bench sometimes wants to play and sometimes he doesn't.
And he's probably one of the better free throw shooters on the team as well.
And he probably wanted to play tonight, or maybe he probably didn't want to play tonight.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The thing with Cam Reddish that a lot of people don't understand that play Cam. I wish
No. What are you talking about? Wanting to play and not wanting to play?
Okay, I was getting there. A lot of people say play Cam. He's 6'8", he's a 2-way wing, all that stuff, right? I wish all this inspiration and all this like vitriol and all that from the fans. No. I'm trying to find the right word. You know, I like using big words. I wish a lot of vitriol from the fans and all of that stuff Cam had. Cam ain't got that. Cam is a sometimes he kind of play. That's what I had to realize about him. He sometimes wants to play, sometimes he doesn't. He's so inconsistent. Like, just because you have a guy with those physical features on the bench does not mean he's going to come in and automatically do what we want him to do. It hasn't been that case since he's played here. Very, very inconsistent. So just let it go. Like Kevin Burger said, let the Cam
you
talk
saying
go.
a lot of extra stuff where you talked about sometimes he want to play, sometimes he don't.
That part I don't. Yeah, Josh, I'm not gonna lie to you. That part I don't understand, but I will agree with you.
Let's be honest. I'm talking about attributes, and he's a good free throw shooter, which we needed tonight, and he's a big defender, which we probably needed tonight. Even if it was down the stretch to get a rebound, or even if it was down the stretch to shoot a free throw, like that's all I'm saying.
Listen, Cam had an interview at the beginning of the season where they asked him, what do you think about your time in the rotation? He was like, I'm good. I'm in the NBA. I'm okay with that. We don't need players like that. We need players that actually want to go out there and play.
So we need players that's going to feed the media something that can spiral into something else that can make you look a certain way?
No, I'm saying when you watch Cam Reddish play, Cam Reddish he's inconsistent, Tony. Just because we have that guy on the bench.
Now you're answering a totally different question than I just asked you. You talked about his response when the media asked him about his playing time. Mm-hmm. We don't need players to respond that way, to say that to the media.
I would rather a player come out and say
the right thing.
No, it's not. Not for me. I want a player to come out and say, I want to play every night.
First of all, George,
in New York, and then it becomes something else.
I got to step back, Josh, because where were you when Cam was like, I'm a superstar?
When he said that?
He said that
when he first got here.
He didn't say I'm a superstar. He didn't say that. Yeah, he said he thinks he can be an all-star. He didn't say he's a superstar. He said I still think I could be an all-star. He didn't say I'm a superstar.
Sorry.
But let me get to a super chat here. Paris Duggar said, thank you for the super chat, by the way. He said, we must keep positive. The young guys are learning what it takes. Tibbs not putting in height for the rebound. Why? This team plays without coaching. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Okay? On the line, you had Julius Randle. You had Mitchell Robinson. Okay? And then you had Quentin Grimes. All right? And then you had Miles McBride out there. All right? I guess you could have decided to put Quentin Grimes, a Cam in or Jericho Sims in, right? But the bottom line is the ball was in Randle's hand. He had it wasn't in his hand. It bounced off of his hand. And then it bounced off his hand and it bounced off Grimes' hands. Like, it was right there to grab. So it was right there to grab. We can talk about what height we didn't put in. The ball was right there for them to grab.
All that height doesn't mean anything if you don't box out.
I don't know what else. I don't know how much.
Listen, all those
you
things
can do.
All those things are facts. I pointed that, like, that's what I'm saying. The weird stuff was happening. Randle had it. Grimes had it. It ends up in Luka's hand.
Yeah,
I don't even know how much time was left, but you know what I mean. Like,
how much can you do for guys to be in the right positions? You can't do anything more. You can't do anything else for them to be in position. They gotta finish it and make it happen.
I was in such a good mood tonight, man.
That's like that basketball karma. You know what I mean? You go against your own beliefs.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna give you something to think about now.
Yeah, the Knicks tonight, man, 55 rebounds. Of course, they lost 126 to 121. 55 rebounds tonight. They out-rebounded the Mavs.
Except when it counted.
All right, except for when it counted. 27 assists for the Knicks, 20 for the Mavs, 5 steals for the Knicks. Knicks didn't get any blocks tonight.
Really?
The Mavericks had 5. But remember, we talked about it earlier. With Christian Wood out there, it's going to take Mitchell Robinson out the paint.
Right.
43% from the field for the Knicks, 48.9% for the Mavericks, 32% from the field from the three-point line for the Knicks, 28% for the Mavs, 62.5% from the free throw line for the Knicks tonight, 75.8% for the Mavericks. The Mavs win the battle in the paint, 50-48. The Knicks, 27 second chance points, Dallas 11. 2 of them were the most important second chance points in the game, right? And then 12 fast break points for the Knicks, 15 for the Dallas Mavericks. Ladies and gentlemen, whew.
Hey, Sam, that's another thing that's bothering me, Sam. I am so sick of the Knicks winning the rebounding battle, and we don't get the rebounds that we need. Like, that is pissing me off really, really bad, bro. Like, Sim, if you talk to most NBA experts, man, if you control the boards, you pretty much control the game. But you're getting killed in the most crucial moments of the game. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. Like,
that right there tells you it's not coaching, though. That right there, everything you just said tells you it's not a coaching issue. The players just down the stretch of games can't focus enough to close out, to box out. The little things that they were doing all throughout the game, they lose that towards the end of the game.
Yeah,
that tells you it's not on coaching. That's on the players.
Yeah, that's like heart and determination and focus.
Lack of focus.
The first take answers.
And then that goes into your point about the free throws, because I think that falls right in line. Like, you got, like, the good free throw shooters are missing free throws. We had Brunson miss free throws in the clutch too. You know what I mean? We had Grimes now come up in the clutch and miss free throws. Randle, who's probably having one of his better free throw shooting years of his career, missing in the clutch still.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, man, I know I missed a couple of calls. Give me a call back, 516-362-5212. All right, and I'll make sure I'm paying attention so I can get to your calls. Tony, something I noticed today that you pointed out the last game. There's something between Rose and Randle. Because you seen today, and you could hear Randle. Randle got the rebound, and, Rose wasn't coming to get the ball, and he was like, come get it. And then Rose came and got the ball, and he gave him the basketball. There's something there. I don't know exactly what it's about. If I don't know, but there is something there, because I believe that's the same thing that you pointed out, where he was yelling at Rose, "Come get the ball," right? And Rose didn't come get the ball, and he screamed it out like twice, "Come get it," and he didn't come get the ball. There's something there.
And the only reason I even care, like, I didn't peep it today, so I'm gonna look for it when I rewatch the game.
I think it was in the third quarter. I think
the only reason I cared before is because it hurt the team. It ended up being a broken, you know what I mean,
right.
Play as far as chemistry wise with what was going on. I think Randle turned it over, but you know what I mean, he ended up going to Grimes on a pass that got stolen. So yeah. Yeah, right. I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah,
I hope.
I was watching on NBA
TV. That get fixed.
Right, I was watching on NBA TV. So they had the Dallas Mavericks commentators on there, and they pointed it out. It was like, Randle upset with his teammates. He's yelling at Rose to come get the ball. So it's sometime in the third quarter, I believe it was. And I do agree. I see someone in the chat say, Randle speaks to everyone like that on the floor, and he does, but it seemed like it was something different with Rose. Like, they've been working on, hey, we want the point guard to have the ball so we can do this, that, and the third. And Rose is kind of still in like last year mode. Oh, Randle got it. I'm going to let him bring it up. Yep. Or something like that. I don't know.
That's 100% it. Or that's 100. Like, the way you just said that, like, I can see that's exactly what it is. It's almost like he's unfamiliar with the play. And then he, you know what I mean? He just defers, like, does something totally opposite of what he should be doing. Like, all right, just run the option. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like
right. But so that's definitely something worth watching, man. And understanding. Is it something serious, or is it just, because when you're on a basketball team, you go through all kinds of ups and downs and whatnot, and sometimes you're going through something with a teammate, some not. Sometimes everything is cool. So we'll see. Go ahead, Josh. You getting ready to say something?
Sim and Tony, before I go, do I have y'all permission to speculate? Do I have your permission?
Sure, you can
Okay.
speculate. Speculate.
On Rose and Randle?
Speculate.
Yeah.
Speculate.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, go ahead, speculate.
I'm trying to be funny, but I didn't see the play. I didn't even catch that the last game or whatever. I don't want to go too far on it, but I mean, there's a couple of things here. Rose is not in the rotation, right? I know him, Fournier, not in the rotation. They're veteran guys. Tony, I know that you would hope, and I think we all would hope that there is no friction because of that. But I think that's something that we do need to keep an eye on and keep our focus on as trade deadline comes up and keeping those guys on the team. Because I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, you can be a good teammate, be a good veteran, and be a really good player around the NBA. But you're gonna want to play. And if you're not playing, and you feel like you should be playing, that stuff is going to be there. There's nothing you can really do about that. I don't know how much it'll affect the team, but I still need to keep our eyes on that. The other part,
my bad. It just popped into my head. Even going with Rose down the stretch instead of McBride as a valid free throw shooter, you know what I mean? Like, and somebody who's been there before. Like, again, I get.
I mean, but he missed one, but for the most part, he made them. I think he was 3 for 4.
Yeah, but
that one miss.
Like, that's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about whatever down throughout the game. I'm not mad at his minutes throughout the game. Like, I felt like the fact that it wasn't like, he switched on Luka, but nobody was stopping Luka. So why was he in down the stretch? If I get the experience part, if that's the reason why, I get it. You know what I mean? Because that is valuable, and you can't take that away from him.
Remember a couple seasons ago in the playoffs, Frank Ntilikina didn't play for the whole game, but we wanted him out there for that one particular thing. Everyone criticized him.
I thought that was terrible.
In the playoffs? That was
playoffs because they said that Frank Ntilikina didn't play the whole game, or he's been out for a certain amount of time or whatever, and we put him in for that specific situation. So his defensive muscles were atrophy, right? That could be the same thing that applied. Actually, it's not good. They're not at the same standard. So that could have been the same thing for Derrick Rose in that situation. Maybe his free throw muscles are the reason why he's not playing as much. Maybe.
Muscle memory.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. Muscle memory.
First of all,
he been there before. He been there before. That's all I'm talking about.
Your muscle
Josh,
memory.
I'm not gonna Josh.
Okay,
I'm not gonna let you get away with this, Josh. No.
Because the definition of atrophy is if you don't do something for a certain period of time, it's not beneficial to put you in that same situation.
Joshua.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead,
Joshua.
Go ahead, Mr.
Joshua. I'm not gonna let you do this because you damn well know that there ain't no muscle memory when it comes to, well, of course it's muscle memory when it comes to free throws. But there's a whole difference between a player coming in that has not played and trying to get his body set for the game defensively that are crucial last possession versus shooting free throws. And D Rose has been there too many times to count. We're not going to do that. I'm not going to allow you to do that.
So why does he not know the plays? Why is he getting into it with Randle on the floor then?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So this is all speculation.
But that's two different things.
What I'm talking about is atrophy. Because listen, I think we need to be fair across the board. That's all I'm saying, right? Not necessarily fair. I'm saying if you're going to speculate about one thing, why can't you speculate for the other stuff?
I mean, I understand what you're saying about, muscle atrophy and things. Me personally, I just don't think Derrick Rose is playing well.
He's been bad this whole season.
I asked Tony, I think it was a couple of streams ago, do you think this is it for D Rose? Do you think he's done? You know what I mean? When I'm seeing him out there, and maybe it's because of the playing time or whatever, I'm not seeing the same lively person when he's on the floor. I'm not seeing the explosion. I'm not seeing it. You know what I mean? And that's why I asked, and maybe that's the reason why he's not out there in those situations. Maybe Tibbs, lost a little bit of confidence in Derrick Rose right now.
Or is it a one thing, or maybe he just can't do it anymore because of the atrophy? We don't know. That's a lot of questions that we don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just bringing it up.
But all that being said, I think that plays true to his playing time overall. I'm only talking about down the stretch. With 35 seconds to left, put Rose in. I don't like. I think that would have been a difference.
But let me
You know what I mean? Like,
let me ask, and I'm not asking you. I just want to ask in general because I know there's people that believe the same thing you're saying right now, right? But we talk a lot about letting Deuce and Grimes and letting these guys play. You play for experience. This is prime experience, right? So if you know that Derrick Rose is not going to be part of your team, you have a 9-point lead with 33 seconds left in regulation. Do you not say this is prime experience for him to close this game out?
anybody who wants to argue that, I will not argue against them because that makes sense. That's logic. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna argue against logic. But if we just talking about winning this game, that's you know what I mean. That's you know what I mean. It's two different. It's apples again. Apples. I'm not gonna argue against.
Okay, I'm gonna say this because
that's a fact. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna have to learn from these experiences, or the team is gonna learn that. You know what I mean? From him not learning. You know what I mean? So you got to figure out where guys are by giving them. So I get that.
But you're also making the argument. You're also making the argument that if we have Derrick Rose out there, we'll win more ball games. That's what you're saying.
But listen, in the fourth quarter,
I'm talking about situation and situational.
Yeah, but
like this was a situation to put him in. I'm not talking about long term. I'm not saying Deuce should have played 20 minutes instead of 40. That's not what I'm saying.
I didn't say you saying that. I'm saying
less minutes.
I'm breaking down what you're saying in regards to Derrick Rose. You think Derrick Rose can help us win ball games right now down the stretch? That's what you think?
Yeah.
I disagree with you.
I think he's gonna hit his free throws. I mean,
but Deuce. I'm looking at the fourth quarter right now. Deuce was 5 for 6
from the free throw line.
From the free throw line in the fourth. Mitchell Robinson was 0 for 3. Deuce was 5 for 6.
But those two though. But those
what do you mean two? 5 for 6.
It's only one. Only one.
But that one though.
There you go, Isaiah.
But he made two. Hold on. He went 1 for 2, and then he made 2 after that to give the Knicks a 3-point lead. He made 2 after that to give the Knicks a 3-point lead.
Listen. Grimes missed as well. Randle missed as well.
No,
I'm just saying. My point is, they were forcing the ball into Deuce's hands. If Rose is on the floor, they have to make a different strategy. They're not going to force the ball into Rose's hand.
I mean, but he made them though.
He made.
Why do we lose this game?
That one changed the game.
I mean,
Randle.
No, but look, in the fourth quarter,
Grimes one changed the game.
No, but in the fourth quarter, the only other person to take a free throw was Mitchell Robinson. Nobody else took free throws.
Those was in overtime.
Nobody else took free throws in the fourth quarter. Now in overtime.
I mean, stick with that though, son. Even with that just means that one was an important one. We needed that. That changes the game.
I mean, but the 2 he made after that put the Knicks up 3 with however many seconds left, and then that whole thing transpires at the end.
Listen, I'm not blaming him. You know what I mean? Like he did. Kudos. He came back.
I just think you're reaching so hard right now. I just really think you are. And you normally don't do this. That's what I'm saying. But I got you, man. I got you.
I mean, I just don't know if Rose. I mean, maybe Rose hits or maybe he don't. He could have missed one too.
He might. He might have. They may not have fouled. They might have made a different decision. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. It was just weird. It feels like Tibbs he went against his own theories tonight.
Many people have been calling for that though. Play the kids. Listen, play the kids. Not you. I'm just saying people.
They should be happy. There should be no complaints from them. Because this is what they wanted.
Because you got.
But of course they're not.
But listen, Deuce is young, 2nd year in the league. Quinn Grimes, 2nd year in the league. Of course, Mitch. You know what I mean? Who else was out there on the floor? Emmanuel Quickley. You know, it's a young group. Obviously, you have Julius Randle out there, but he didn't get it done either. You know what I mean? Let's hear from Tibbs.
I hope somebody asks him
about what?
His decision to foul.
Oh, yeah. No doubt. This is Tibbs, y'all. Let's check it out.
Coach, you often talk about next man up. No Jalen, no RJ. You got an unbelievable effort from the guys. How tough is this one to swallow, given you had the 9-point lead with 30 seconds left?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. So it's a shame not to come out of here with a win. So 29 seconds to go. Their shots, offensive rebounds, fouls. So, yeah, disappointing.
Was it just in those last 30 seconds? Was it?
Well, we gave up and ones. We gave up uncontested shots. We missed some free throws. So it was a compilation of things. But you give a team a second crack at things, and then you foul, give and ones up. Doesn't make sense.
Doncic said the 60-20-10 never been done before in history.
Yeah, he's a monster player. You know, I'm concerned about. You know, there's some plays that he's making good plays and he's aggressive. But you know, we can't keep fouling a guy giving 22 free throws up. So we can't. We talk about verticality and restricted all the time, and we keep whacking down. So until we fix that, that's going to cost us.
What happened to RJ?
Lacerated finger.
Did he get stitches?
I'm not sure.
With the guy, what happened in overtime? I mean, these are heavy minutes for some guys that aren't used to that. Was tired?
Yeah, I know, you know, both teams. You know, when you get to overtime, there's going to be heavy minutes. That's the reality of it. And then, you know, you're matched up with who they have on the floor as well. So, you know, we got to make plays, but we shouldn't have been in that position.
After RJ went out, you went with 8 guys the rest of the game. Any thought to, you know, giving some minutes to guys who haven't played much?
I was more concerned with how we were matching up with them. You know, so you know, we try to match up a certain way, and I thought we were playing well. You know, we didn't close out the last 30 seconds of the game.
Guys like Evan and Cam, who don't play at all in this type of game. I mean, does it send a signal that they're not going to play well?
No.
All right, that's good.
How did you feel you defended Doncic? He winds up with 60, 20, and 10, and it looked like you're fighting like crazy.
Yeah, I know. That's what I promised I was trying for sure. I mean, I'm trying to get over every pick and roll. He's in almost every action, so it was a lot on me trying to get over every pick and roll with him. He's crafty with the ball, without the ball. I got to know where he's at all times on the court. But, yeah, I mean, he's one of the top 3 players in this league for a reason. He showed that tonight, so I got to tip my head off for sure.
Was it a matter just in overtime that you guys just ran out of gas? It was so deflating how the game finished?
Yeah, it kind of really just ran out of time. I mean, they kind of went up 3. If we had a little more time, maybe we could have came back. But, yeah, overtime's only 5 minutes, so we had to really execute down the stretch. We missed a couple of wide-open shots, quick missed open shot. Dude, he got his shot blocked, so it was just little things like that. But I'm proud of everybody and the way we fought, so I feel like we got to build off and just keep competing every night, and then the tides are going to turn for sure.
A couple of games like this where you guys have let it slip away in the late, the late second minutes. How can you guys kind of rebound from that and learn from it?
Yeah, this is kind of like 3 out of the 4 games where we kind of lost on offense rebounds, really. So we got to really just lock in, late game, box out, make sure they don't get offensive rebounds and hit dagger threes. And then we got to know where our man's at. They hit open threes late and box out. Offensive rebound, just really a main key thing. So we got to just really lock in on in the fourth quarter. The intensity is different. Really got to lock in now. We're knowing that these games are going to cost even more that we drop 3 kind of 4 in a row like that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was Quentin Grimes right there. You heard from Tom Thibodeau.
What was that, a snippet?
That was. I mean, maybe there's a couple of more minutes to it, but Tibbs wasn't having it. He was like, "Man, I'm done with this interview. I ain't."
Hey, Sim, let me tell you something. If people still think Cam and Foye on this team, they think they on this team still. Man,
no, there's some people calling it personal though. I just think, well, what if? Okay, there's 2 scenarios that we're not talking about, right? And I'm gonna put them out there, and I'm gonna get your opinion on it. I already know what the answer is gonna be, but let's have a dialogue. 2 potential situations that no one's talking about. Obviously, Tibbs is not playing Cam Reddish, right, or Evan Fournier. Could it be any possibility, in the realm of possibility, that the front office told him not to play Cam? 1. Second thing, could it be a possibility that Cam said, if I'm not gonna get the minutes that I deserve, I don't want to play? What if?
Josh, You already know the answer. They're traded.
No. I know that part. But I'm saying
I think
everyone is giving Tibbs the blame.
I think the first one is more logical.
Okay.
I could believe the first one.
Yeah, I mean, most likely it's the first one because again, the front office doesn't want to ruin their assets. Again, people. Sims talked about this before. People love the thought of Cam versus who Cam actually is.
Exactly.
So they're gonna, you got teams like the Lakers, teams like those kind of teams that still want Cam. I guess. Hey, listen, I believe Cam is very talented, but we still haven't seen it. We can only say that for so much longer when it's going to be like, okay, that's it. So again, if the Knicks are doing it the right way, in the sense of you're actually building up Cam's trade value even more by not playing him, because then you start having people saying free Cam and Cam's this and Cam that, then you probably get more for him.
But the reason why,
I was going to say Evan Fournier, I think he's going to get a market just because his deal is going to be expiring next year or something, I think.
Next year. Yeah.
So you're going to have an expiring deal next year. So I mean, he's not going to cost you really a lot on.
But this is what I'm really. This is the reason why I asked that rhetorical question, because you got two people in the chat, and I've heard this all day. It's personal. Tibbs is making it personal against Cam. But that's what I'm saying. This is why I have to ask these questions, because I can argue for that third one. Tony, you said it's more likely the first thing, but it could be the second thing as well. This is the second situation that Cam potentially feels like he's not getting the minutes that he deserves, right? If he forced himself out of Atlanta, all this stuff is still possible.
What is
know.
personal? What is personal? When people say personal, what is personal?
That's what I want to know.
Like, I just don't like this guy. I just
right.
He can play basketball, but I don't like him as a human being. Like, is that personal?
Right.
Is it that kind of personal? Or maybe is it he doesn't like Cam's style of play? And if he doesn't like Cam's style of play, like, that's a coach's prerogative. Yeah. I don't like this guy's style of play.
If you're not gonna adjust to my style of play, I have no use for you.
Right. I mean that's a coach's prerogative. So when someone, not you, but when someone says personal, it's personal. What does that mean?
Right.
And hold on, we got to get it. And for people saying it's personal, let's make something very clear. Especially when it comes to Tom Thibodeau, there's never been a player that's really disliked Tom Thibodeau. Even if you go back to the Timberwolves and how people thought that went down, when people said he was hard on Wiggins, if you ask Andrew Wiggins, he would say he loves Tom Thibodeau. Tom Thibodeau helped him out a lot, and people thought there was a lot of personal stuff going down with them. So for him to say that, no, stop this. Also, too, if you were we all watched a lot of basketball interviews with basketball players 1,000 times. What is one of the most common things they say? This is a business. Most of these decisions are business. Unless your name is George Karl, nothing's personal.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean. So this notion that come on, can't stop it.
B-Baller said
you say you can make an argument for the third.
Yeah,
I can make an argument. No, you can make a legit argument for all three. Well, I don't know about the first one about Tibbs not liking it, but I can make an argument as equal for the front office giving Tibbs a directive not to play Cam Reddish or Evan Fournier because they're about to get traded.
That makes the most sense.
Or the fact that they want to see the people that they drafted get more time in there on the court, right? Or you can make an argument for Cam just being like, trade me. I don't want to play. Mark Berman came out with the article. Everyone was like, Mark Berman's making up stuff. But this is the second team in a row where Cam Reddish is not getting the minutes that either the fans or himself feels like he deserves.
Is that
why
his
not?
fault?
No, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying based on the situation at hand, you can see a player that feels like he should get more minutes, right? If he wants to play or not, doing something.
But I don't think it's right for anybody to put that on him. Even if it was leaked from his agent, or even if it was leaked from the front office, wherever it was leaked from, the fact that it didn't come out of his mouth and he has to deal with that, I feel like he's handled everything the right way. If you watch him on the bench, he's cheering his team on. He's high-fiving them in timeouts. He's doing all the right things. So to put those things out there as far as him, I think that's wrong. Like even with Atlanta Hawks, that didn't come from him. We would have never known he asked to be traded. He didn't do that publicly. That came out from the Hawks.
I mean, I agree.
So it's not okay to speculate about that, is what you're saying.
No, I agree. I think that Cam. I don't think Cam. I mean, you said there's three things, right? So I don't think Cam is the problem type. I think Cam is quiet, and if he does want to be traded or whatever, he's going to let his agent handle that part of it. You know what I mean? I think it's more that they probably had a discussion. And when B Baller said he never liked him, again, when you say he never liked him, are you saying he doesn't like him as a person, or are you saying he doesn't like his basketball style? Right? I think those are two different things. And maybe Tom Thibodeau doesn't like his basketball style, and so maybe he did talk with Leon and Cam's agent, and say, "Listen, I just don't see you bringing what I want to the table. Maybe it's best we part ways." Right. And however that discussion comes about. And so then it's like, all right, we're all gonna be good soldiers. You be on the bench. We're not gonna cause any problems. Leon Rose says to him, "I'm gonna look for a place for you to go." You know what I'm saying? And there it is. And so now Cam's like, okay, they're gonna look for a place for me to go. Tom is like, I don't have to play him. I can play the guys that I want to play. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that extra. I got to try to get Cam in. How can I get Cam in? What can I do to get Cam in? I'm going to just go with the guys that I want to go with. I don't think it's nothing wrong with a coach not liking a player's style of play. Whether or not fans or other coaches or other executives believe that this guy can produce, if a coach doesn't like this guy's style of play, then he's going to be like, I'm not going to play him, because the coach is going to, he can't go by what the fans say or other executives say. He's got to go by his gut feeling. And if he's wrong, then that's going to come back on him.
Absolutely.
In the future. If Cam goes someplace and balls out, it's going to come back on Tibbs.
But that situation you mentioned could be a mutual thing. Maybe it could be a mutual, I'm going to look for a trade for you, and at the same time, and the players at the same time, I don't want to play unless I'm not getting the minutes.
It could be.
But I don't consider that a problem from a player. I think it's okay for a player to say,
okay, I'm with that.
You know what I mean?
And that's fine.
And that's fine. I'm
But
with that.
to make him out to be the villain or the bad guy because he's been in two situations that haven't been ideal to him, that could be true. But the way he's handled it, you have to commend that. That's all I was saying.
But Tony, I brought that up not to vilify Cam Reddish. I brought that up as a possibility that no one else is really considering, given the circumstances that we're in. Not to make him a villain.
100%. He's not happy with his role here.
Right.
Who would be? Right.
But hold on. But
and 100%, if he could find a place where his role would be increased to his liking, he would be okay with that.
But let me,
that's logic. Again, I'm never going to argue against logic.
Yeah, but so Tony, here's the thing, right? And I hear what you're just saying, but we got to get rid of this too. There's not going to be a team that's going to adjust to Cam. Cam got to adjust to the team. He's not one of those chosen players where the team has to adjust to Cam to make Cam happy.
True. That's true.
So he's at a point in his career where it's no more of that. Well, Cam got to find the perfect spot. Cam got to do this, bro. Not to be funny, players like Cam, talent-wise, come into the league every year.
Yep,
every year.
I agree.
You got to make the best of it, or you're gonna end up like a player that you're gonna end up like a freaking
with a reputation that you can't get along in any situation.
You can't exactly.
That reputation will hurt you. Yeah,
right.
Because look,
and I think that's why he's handling this current situation the way he is.
And Tony, let me make
it cost him, Tony.
And Tony, let me make something very clear. He's handled this like a true professional, like he should.
Right.
He's handled this,
and by him not playing, it produces conversations like this that also happen with other executives. Oh, maybe Tom Thibodeau don't like him. Right? So maybe it's, maybe he just fell into that situation that Tom Thibodeau don't like him. So by him not playing and just sitting and, all right, I'm just going to sit here on the bench, that can be perceived by other executives. And then obviously, there's rumors and things spread amongst executives or whatever, which could help him, facilitate him moving on and going, to someplace else. If that's the perception, oh, this guy it's not working with them there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's something going on here, but maybe it can work for us.
Tim, what about the notion that he's hopping from team to team? I'm not saying I feel that way, but what is that other side of the coin from executives saying it didn't work out for him in Atlanta, right? Mm-hmm. He comes to New York, it's not working out from there. What about that? Other teams can look at him and say that too. And we don't know what it is. I'm just putting all that stuff out there because a lot of people are just blaming Tibbs. It's personal. Tibbs don't like him. Tibbs should be fired. He's so
that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. People gotta at least consider the other stuff. And a lot of this stuff we don't know. And I'm glad the media asked the question.
Barris Duggar, thank you for the super chat. He said, Cam is tall. Tibbs is awful. Banishing guys is dumb. See, I disagree. If you have a player that you don't think gives you what you need and you don't play him, then you just don't. Then that's just it. I mean, it happens in every single team in the NBA that guys don't play. Every single team in the NBA, it happens. In college, it happens. It happens in high school.
Happened to Quentin Grimes.
I mean, guys just don't play. What?
and Tibbs has, and that's his MO. We seen it with Kemba when he was here. Until he wasn't, you know what I mean? I wasn't one of the people in the Frank Hive, but the Frank Hive was going crazy until he got his
I still think Frank, give Frank one chance. Yeah. Give Frank one more chance.
Yeah. Barris Duggar said, it is coaching if guys never improve weaknesses.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
The NBA is very different from high school and even college. The head coach doesn't develop the players in college, right? He doesn't develop the players and help them improve their weaknesses. You have assistant coaches, you have developmental coaches. Those are the ones who help the players develop. In the end, the players got to develop on their own. Players got to knock down free throws. Players got to put themselves in situation, in practices, and et cetera, so that they have to knock down free throws in the clutch. And to be honest with you,
that's repetition.
That's repetition. But the only way to really play against that pressure or work and practice against that pressure is to be in that pressure. You can be in practice all day long and try to put some pressure on a free throw. It's not going to be the same as being in the game with 20,000 fans staring you down and referees and millions of people on TV watching and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Head coaches in the NBA don't develop players, in my opinion. They don't. You know what I mean? Developmental coaches do. Assistant coaches do. Trainers help players to develop, right? Players develop themselves. The coaches and all of that, they are the tools. They are the players' tools to utilize. You know what I'm saying? What do coaches do? Coaches develop the schemes. Coaches put players in the positions on the floor where they think they're going to be successful.
With the skills that they learned during the offseason.
With the skills that they come to him with. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's what coaches do. Now, also, a coach may say, I'd like you to work on these things.
Yeah,
right?
But you got to put the work in.
But you got to put the work in. We go into the off season. I want you to work on this, and this, so that you come back so I can put you in this situation or that situation.
And Sim, we talked about it before too, right? So we talked about it a while ago, where you really get what? Let's say you're a third year player and you're not playing in the summer league. You get, let's say your team made the playoffs. Okay, let's do it as the Knicks and RJ Barrett, the year we made the playoffs. You get 3 months, if that, to really, pick up new skills, and that you're only going to apply a percentage of that. Because again, right, you're most likely, being generous, you're probably going to take about 2-3 weeks off, just to relax, get your mind off the NBA season, and then you go back to work. So now you got 2.5 months to really learn some new skills and pick things up. Yeah. So I'm just doing a rough estimate, but I'm saying, people, this ain't 2K. I think sometimes we gotta remember that too.
Yeah,
this ain't 2K. Listen, you can't pick up a skill and then you put it to the next season and you just automatically gonna do it, man. Some of these things take years, man. But also too, at the same time, and this is where I have to correlate Cam, is that you don't get that many chances. So you gotta show some results with your training. Because you just can't keep, again, we can't keep going on if talent alone. Listen, if talent was alone, holy crap, Kevin Knox still be on the Knicks. You know what I mean? Just talent alone. But again, you get talent and hard work have to meet, and you gotta produce. This league like I said before, this league comes out with new kids every year, 19 years old, 18-year-old, that are ready to play. That's just how it is, man. For every Kevin Knox, you got an SGA. And for every SGA, you got 3 Kevin Knoxes.
Yeah.
So those dudes are it's tough, man. So hey. We should have never lost. We should have never lost by 9 points. Should have never given that 9-point lead.
Should have never lost this game, man.
I'll be honest with you. If we did lose that game, we would be talking about Cam right now.
No, we wouldn't. if we would have went ahead and won the basketball game, we wouldn't be talking about Cam, right? Well, maybe some people would. So the question would be asked: if RJ can't go, so on and so on, does Cam play? That question would be asked.
I mean, I think the question wouldn't have been asked because it would have been answered tonight.
Yeah, you might be, and I do want to get into some more positive things if we can. I know nobody wants to talk about it, but Quentin Grimes had a really, really good game tonight. I want to talk about that. Okay, but let me get to the phone call and then we can talk about that. But yeah, Quentin Grimes, 33 points tonight. You know what I mean? I think I want to ask questions about that. Caller, you're live, man. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Shout out to the chat and the panel. Sim, nothing but Knicks. It's your boy Savvy. What's poppin'?
What's going on with you, brother? How you feeling? And before Savvy, you go on. I think shout out to Paris Duggar again. He said Tibbs is a under 500 career coach for a reason. That's very wrong. He's not under 500. Tom Thibodeau has a career coaching record of 448 wins and 338 losses.
Watch this, Sam. The Knicks are an under 500 organization all time. What does that say about them?
Yeah. So I mean, come on, and so just saying.
There you go, Josh. That's the Josh.
And for the time, and if you take the Knicks record for the time that if you take all of the games, and I know we're all upset, and people are gonna say I'm a Tibbs apologist and all that good stuff. Cool, you can say it. I'll put a shirt on that says Tibbs apologist if that's what you want. I just call it the way I see it. If I think Tibbs made a mistake, I'll tell you I think he made a mistake. But if you take the Knicks record from the time that he's been here up until today, the Knicks have a winning record from the time that he's been here.
Oh man.
Am I lying? Or is that true? Come on, be real with me. Be real with me. Am I lying or is that true?
It's true. It's true for the argument that Thibodeau is the best coach we've had here in a long time. Now I'm not hanging my hat on a mediocre because they're a couple games above 500, 3, whatever it is, maybe even more than that, 5 or something like that. So I'm not hanging my hat on it. But if you consider the coaches that we had before, I mean, I don't get it. I don't get what all the vitriol is about.
Hey, he beats David.
I mean, he's definitely our best coach in the last.
And
he's been our best coach since Mike.
And I'm not saying he's the guy to take the team to the promised land. I'm not saying that either.
Johnny Bryant, baby. Johnny Bryant.
Right? I'm not saying he's that guy. Listen, people keep talking about Johnny Bryant. I don't know anything about what he can and can't do as a head coach, right? There's a lot to head coaching. You know what I mean? But, people, come on. He just said Tibbs is a under 500 career coach. That's a lie. He's not. That's a lie. You know what I'm saying?
Man just started bucking lies in the chat.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know if he's the guy to take us to the promised land to win a championship, but what he's provided for the Knicks is what the Knicks have needed up until this point right now, at the very least. Right? Because the Knicks are relevant in the NBA. And he's been a big part of that. Like it or not. Does he take the Knicks to the promised land? Maybe not. I don't know. Does he make mistakes? Yes, he does. He makes mistakes. But what have we had Since when is the last time we've been this good of a basketball team? And it's not saying we're great. But when is the last time we've been a mediocre basketball team?
Right.
Hey, Sim,
Let's take
hold
that
up.
and see how far we can build with it.
He has a rebuttal.
Who has a rebuttal?
Paris Duggar with another super
cool.
chat.
Right. I understand. And just like we talk about the games, the story means something. I would be over 500 in the NBA if I came in with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, so on and so forth, and had James Harden on my team.
Oh,
I'd be over 500 in the NBA as a coach, too. You probably would, too, Parrish. You'd probably, all you got to do is sit back and throw the ball out. And they're probably going to win 50% of their games.
At least.
Right? Come on. You know what I'm saying? You know, coaching really does come. You know, people look at the best the coaches who have all this talent and win games and say, oh, they're great coaches. But you know, great coaches really come when you don't have a lot of talent. That's when you find out how good a coach really is. That's when you find out how good they are as a coach. You know what I mean? Anyway, go ahead, Savvy D. What's popping?
Yeah. Word up to Steven Silas. My condolences. Ayo, Paris. Nah, come on, fam. We're not gonna invoke the name of Nash in this show, please. Let's just avoid that right there. I was gonna lead off with the positive about Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes had a fantastic game tonight. I think that it's beautiful to see what he's able to achieve, considering the troubles that he had during the offseason and toward the end of last season, especially being that a lot of the opportunities have come from moments where we've lost a player that they haven't been available or they didn't work out in the rotation, and then we had to look to him to fill a void, and he's done so multiple times, and he's shown us that he can dial it up, you know, here and there. He still has some work to do, but I'm so encouraged by seeing what Quentin Grimes did. But as for the result of the game, I mean, it hurts, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching that game, and when I saw Dinwiddie hit that shot, that pivotal shot in clutch time down the stretch, like it really hurt my heart, especially because Spencer Dinwiddie is the one that shot the ball.
Right.
And Dinwiddie's been disrespectful to us since way back. It's no love lost between Dinwiddie and the Knicks. And there's no love lost between me and the Dallas Mavericks either, because they for some reason just love our roster. Every roster we have winds up over there. But another thing that didn't sit right with me about the loss is that we had a chance to spoil a historic performance by Luka Doncic, which would have counted a lot in my book, and I'm sure in the minds of many fans as well. And we didn't do that. We fell short of doing that because we couldn't get key stops down the stretch, which has been a consistent thing for us in the past several games. Even in like the last two games that we won, I want to say, down the stretch, we were unable to get key stops, and we just happened to be able to maintain the leader, outscore the team down the stretch. I believe it was those last two games that we won. But, you know, I'm not going to ramble. I still believe that we can bounce back. But it hurts. 4 in a row hurts after 8 straight.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie to you.
You definitely right about that. Paris Duggan, man, he said, I repeated misinformation. Lie is strong language. All right. Okay. I'm not going to say you lie. You repeated misinformation.
Okay.
You were wrong.
Hey, that's a smooth recovery right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll take back lie, but you was wrong. I'll take back lie. He didn't lie. He repeated some bad info.
Parents gotta go to law school with that. that was a nice one right there.
Yeah. So what we see, Josh, Tony, with RJ out, Quentin Grimes stepped up, 33 points. Knocking down some big shots. Some good, good drives to the basket. He helped to create some that one pass to Mitch was beautiful. Boom, boom, boom. Yep. Looked away. Bop. It was beautiful pass. Your thoughts about it, man? Your thoughts about what you're seeing from Grimes tonight?
Tony, go first.
Good, because I know you're gonna rebuttal. I was ready to come in here trolling if we won this game like Donovan Hoop. Because Grimes, I mean, he had a career night. Like you said, some nice strong drives to the basket, the no look to Mitch, the 3-point shot was on. And even if we would have won this game, I would attribute his late free throw miss as well to attrition. You know what I mean? Because he played a lot tonight. So I was ready to give it up for Grimes tonight. Me and Shutter was texting back and forth. He was tooting his horn. Shout out to DJ Shutter. Man, but yeah, Grimes had a great game. I hope it gives me hope that when the team is whole, obviously RJ's back, Brunson's back. If you can continue these type of performances, this raises, the at least the floor of this team,
right? Because
he's been good during the stretch, but he's had some, subpar shooting nights as of late as well. So, this was a nice bounce back game, career game. You can't get no better than a career game. So
yeah. In some ways, man, I feel part responsible for the Knicks losing the game because my son texted my daughter and was like, when Dad does a show, he used to say, the Knicks get grimy and put, Grimes and Grimes, in parentheses. I thought about it and I said, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Right after that, everything went downhill. I was like, dang, I shouldn't have said nothing. I should have kept it to myself. I shouldn't have said anything. Because right after that, the whole thing went downhill. So I'll take responsibility for my part. You know what I mean? But Josh, what you see from Quentin Grimes, man?
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't surprise me from Quentin Grimes. Like I said, his first step, let's say that shot is not there, they're closing out on him high, boop, he goes right around that person, goes to the lane. That first step is so quick. He is so much of a better passer than everyone even thought he was. I want to say outside of Brunson and Randle, he's probably the best passer on the team, driving to the basket. So underrated, very, very underrated part of his game. We already know what he can do defensively. He's very consistent in that regard. Past couple games when it comes to Harden, I mean, he was defending Harden so tough, but there's only so much you can do against that player. Luka, same thing, right? DeRozan, he got that foul on him in that Bulls game at the end of the game. But, he's just, his ability to shoot the three-pointer on the fast break, in the rotation, in the offensive rotation when the ball is swinging around. It's just so great. And listen, he's not 6, whatever Cam Reddish is, but he does everything that Cam Reddish does not. So it's not about the height. It's about actually doing it. And then Quentin Grimes is a really good player for this team, and I'm glad we got him.
Hey, stop pitting the players against each other, man.
I wasn't doing it.
They can play together. Stop it.
Listen, I argue for Cam Reddish and Quentin Grimes to be in the starting lineup early in the season, if you remember that. So I'm not putting them against each other. I just use Cam as an example of someone. Everyone says we need two-way wings. We need tall two-way wings. We got one. That's Quentin Grimes. So that's the reason why I brought that up.
Yeah, some of the things that I seen tonight from Quentin Grimes that I was impressed with. Well, at least one thing, he was forced to have to put the ball on the floor without catching it off of a pass. Right, so he was forced to have to take a couple dribbles and then break his man down and go. Now he didn't use a whole bunch of between the legs and in and outs and things to go. He just found his angle and went. And that right there is something that I've been looking to see for a while. Can he go off the dribble without the ball being swung to him? Because normally the ball swings, boom, 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 and he catches it and he goes. tonight there were a couple of occasions because he was forced to be that guy. Well, he was able to take the ball off the dribble, off the bounce, without it being swung to him, and go to the basket. And he was successful. You know what I mean? And hopefully this is a game that where you start to see his basketball game expand because he sees, oh yeah, I can do it. And I'm not saying that he didn't know that he could do it, but to do it in a game like confirms it for you. Yes, I can do this in a tight basketball game. You know what I'm saying?
How much do you think about whether, like, obviously, like you're saying, it was there all along, right? It's not like he just found something that he didn't know what he was capable of. But sometimes in these moments, like when you like, oh, I gotta step up, that when guys come back, you regress and kind of fall into your role. Because to me, this needs to be something like an on switch. You know what I mean? Like we talked about with RJ coming into January last year, or this year, I should say. Where you like, no, I can do this. I need to do this with Brunson. I need to do this with RJ.
Can I respond to that, Tony, before Sim goes? I think Grimes already had it. I just think this particular game was I'm talking about. Hold on. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying I think Grimes already had it based on the situation today when Brunson and what's name wasn't there. We just got a chance to see it more. But I think as soon as Tibbs put him in that lineup, put him in that starting lineup, even going back to last year when he came on the floor, I knew he had some of that stuff because he showed it in little small spurts, right? And then as his time increased on the floor, it started to ratchet up. And now you get to this type of point. So I think he already had it. I don't think it's going to be a thing where Brunson comes back and RJ comes back.
It's not about him having it. It's about him using it with Brunson, using it with RJ. Because obviously when these guys are on the floor, some of his role is limited. With these guys off the floor, he's saying, oh, I got to step up. I have more opportunities to do these things. But sometimes those opportunities are there, but you don't take advantage of them because you defer to RJ. You defer.
Has that happened this season? Has that happened this season?
Absolutely.
I think Grimes has stepped up.
Granted, at the same time, he also was hot and hitting his shots tonight. You know what I mean? Like this nights where he's hot and he's hitting his shots and he scored 20 plus points or whatever the case. What I'm saying is, it's just natural evolution, especially with a guy like Grimes. Part of his success on the team was him being able to fit in any role, right? Or any lineup, any situation. But that doesn't mean that he plays the same in every lineup. You know what I mean? Or he plays the same with a Brunson. He's obviously going to defer if Brunson's on the floor, if RJ's on the floor, if Randle's on the floor. He's going to say, "I'm the fourth option." You know what I mean? Like,
so this is about him missing. This is about him missing his shots then. Because to me, when Brunson was out there on the floor, he was still doing a lot of what we're saying.
It's more about him being aggressive all the time.
Yeah, I've seen him do that. That's what I'm saying. I've seen him be aggressive when Brunson was out there and RJ.
I'm all the time.
All the time.
Right. But see, I'm more talking about him kind of creating for himself, not off the swing, but off the bounce. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we haven't seen a lot. Most of the time, it's the ball.
But he's had opportunities. That's what I'm saying. Like he's expanding on his opportunities with those guys gone. When you say you've been waiting to see it, did you mean like waiting for the opportunity to come up and him do it?
No, I've been waiting because
see,
tonight
he had opportunities to do it.
Tonight he had to be one of the guys to create a little bit more for himself. Let's say that. Right? Because normally he doesn't have to. Normally somebody else is creating for him. Now, he does put the ball on the floor, but like I said, it's off of a swing. Somebody else passed it to him, and he automatically, there's not a setup dribble, or it's just catch it and go, right? Which is a good thing, But you also need to have sometimes a player that can, okay, I got the ball in my hands. Let me see what's going on. Nothing, pop, pop, and go to the basket. And I saw some of that tonight. You know what I mean? And I think, like Tony says, in that particular situation, in that particular skill, I'd like to see more of, right? Not that he's waiting for someone to create it for him and then he attacks, but he has the ball and attacks every once in a while. I also think this is where I think coaching comes in. I also think you Tom Thibodeau, you seen, you know what? There was 2 or 3 plays where, no one created for him. He decided, I'm taking my man off the dribble after having the ball. He could have decided to call a play. He could have decided to pass it, but he decided, I'm going to break my man down and go to the basket. And I think now it's on the coach to see that and say, we're going to put something in. We're going to give him more opportunities and let him know that it's the opportunity. Because sometimes as the coach, you got to let the player know this is what we want you to do in this situation. You get the ball here, right? Or you got the ball, instead of just handing it off to Randle or RJ or whoever, go ahead, take it upon yourself every once in a while. Let's see you build that part of your repertoire.
Because doing it on the floor with those other guys, it's probably going to be easier. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be looking for you to pass out and swing more than, creating your own shot. They're going to be looking for you to defer. So I feel like it's got to be a mindset switch.
Yeah.
But to your credit, Tibbs has to point those things out in the game film. Grimes, you see that? I like when you do that. You need to do more of that. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
at all times, like implement that.
Yeah, exactly, man. But I really did like what I seen from Grimes tonight. You know what I mean? And it was big time tonight. Yeah, go ahead.
I do think what's this, Grimes' second year?
Year 2, yep.
Year 3, Grimes is going to be one of those guys people are going to be like, great two-way player. Because I think he's getting a hard course lesson this season by guarding the best players. But I think by year 3, he's going to get the respect of the refs and respect of a lot of players by how hard he defends. He's going to get his butt kicked this season. It's going to be frustrating, but I think by year 3, he's going to be great.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how he continues. We don't need to hear you scratching your beard. Yeah, you can mute it, scratch your beard. We can hear all of that when you got that. Come on, man. Fleas jumping all over the place.
First of all, I don't got no fleas. We're not going to start that rumor. Because you like to start rumors about me. We ain't starting that.
Really good game from Quentin Grimes. Emmanuel Quickley, 13 points and 15 assists. Is that his career high assist, right?
Absolutely. That's where I was going next, Sim. If you didn't. Outstanding game. I don't know how many turnovers he ended up with, but I know his first one was late in the fourth. He had no turnovers.
Quickly ended up with one.
At one point.
One turnover.
So 15 and 1. 15 and 1 turnover.
And that one really wasn't. I think that one was a travel.
Say what?
The one turnover he had was a travel.
Yeah. Was it?
Carry.
Yeah. Carry.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Or double dribble, you should say.
Or something like that. But nice game from Emmanuel Quickley. 15 assists. Do you see this as him? I mean, clearly, he's growing as a lead guard in the NBA. You know what I mean? Do you think this can be a turn-on switch for Quickley? Like, on the bench, obviously he doesn't have Quentin Grimes and Julius Randle, you know what I mean, and them guys on the bench with him. Hopefully when Obi gets back, and maybe if at some point in time the Knicks add another scorer, and we're not talking about Cam or Evan Fournier, guys. We're talking about somebody that's not on this team right now.
Carmelo Anthony.
It's probably not going to be Melo either. I'm pretty sure Leon Rose is looking to see what he can add. Maybe if he doesn't add someone in that rotation spot and he moves on from Cam and them, then maybe. But, you probably won't see that until after the deadline.
I was gonna say I'd rather see Melo in that situational spot than Cam. You know, a young guy with, but whatever.
Right. But do you think this is something that with Quickley can turn on the switch a little bit? And now maybe he can start to expand his game and then even expand his role because, you know, he jumped in for
Hey, Tony,
Brunson
can I go
tonight.
first? Can I go first? Because I'm about to head out because I got work in the morning. I do believe that this is a good turning point for, and thank you, Tony, by the way. Thank you. I do believe that this is a turning point for a Quickley, man. I think he realized today, like, yo, you can affect the game more than just scoring and long threes. I do believe he's gonna get. I'm just my big thing with Quickley is him finding the balance, and once he finds the balance, I think he'll be a great player. He'll be a great 6-man or maybe a great starter in this league one day once he finds the balance. And I think, like I say, he don't have to score every time. He doesn't have to shoot the long ball 3, the logo 3 every time. He can affect the game by passing the ball, by giving guys open shots, by giving guys great shots, and then making it. You know, and I think his defense has been good to me. The defense has been good. So I Quickley has all the potential to be a great player, man, and this can be the turning point for him. You know, it's sad because we wasted 2 people's career nights when it comes to things by doing not the little things, but it's all right. Next we used so far, but no, I think this is a start. But Sim, I want to say, you know, great show. I can't believe I did it, Sim. This is my first time in a long time doing 2 shows.
Yeah, for
You
real.
know?
For real. For real. Normally you snoring by now.
Hey, I did a little bit. That's why I had to tell you I came back in.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
my goodness.
He took a nap. He went and took a nap. He turned his camera off and took a nap. This guy.
I did lay down for like 2 seconds.
Oh, my goodness.
No, but
it's like pre-pandemic,
Oh my
guys.
goodness.
oh man, I'm in rare form, Tony. But you know, great show tonight, guys. Josh, Tony. It sucks, Sim, but
tough.
we gotta
one,
go.
man.
We got. I'm gonna say this, Sim. We ain't no other choice. We gotta go 2-1. Ain't no other choice.
Yeah, we better. We better.
Yeah.
we better. Yeah.
Hey man, I'll talk to you guys later, man.
Hey, Big Bubba, don't forget to get them DC tickets, man.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Get them DC tickets. The link is in the description. Get them DC tickets.
I got you, man. I got you.
All right.
All right, yeah.
All right. Later.
Tony, you want to go or you want me to go?
I'll go real quick. What I say about Quickley is, even though we're 0 for 2 with him starting, I think he played a great game, and Tibbs is not gonna alter that lineup when Brunson is out, and that's encouraging. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's shown enough that he'll be the guy that starts when Brunson is out. But as far as like a switch for him, no, I think when he's on the bench, his prime objective is to score the basketball. When he's playing alongside, obviously, you know, Randle and well, RJ for whatever 6 minutes or however long, 3 minutes, however long he played. I just think Grimes, they were hitting shots. He was making the right reads, but I don't know if he'll be getting double-digit assists off the bench.
Oh no.
You know what I mean? Like he'll be scoring when he's back on the bench.
Yeah. Okay. Josh.
Beginning of the season, when even before we even got Brunson, I think that when we had the conversation, if us and Queen was there or Steph was there, and we talked about whether Quickley should be used more in an on-ball role and off-ball role, right? And I made the argument that put in Quickley in more of a on-ball role that you can potentially, even though he's not the best in that particular situation, turnovers and everything like that, you can help him develop and work on some of the things that he was probably lacking in before. Tonight was an example of that, right? I was never worried about Quickley. Quickley is going to be streaky. That's just who he is, right? There's going to be times where he's going to throw up some shots and not make them. There's going to be times where he's going to be hot, right? You know, I'm not worried about Quickley. I think Quickley is right where he needs to be as far as his development is concerned. I think by playing the start lineup, it gives him an opportunity to be handling the basketball more, setting up his teammates. But when he goes back to the bench, he'll just be doing what he was doing before. And sometimes that can be making a lot of shots. Sometimes that can be missing a lot of shots. I just just think at this point we got to live with it and being a young player.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hoping is that, the more time he's playing in this starting role, because his role on the bench is to be a scorer. He has to. I mean, the Knicks bench scoring, even over the win streak, was low because players out of the lineup, Obi Toppin being injured, you know what I mean? So that scoring, so he's asked to be the scorer coming off the bench. But now if the Knicks somehow, some way start to get more scorers on the bench, can those skills translate?
Then absolutely 100%. 100%. 100%. And to your I was a part of that conversation, Josh. Pre-Brunson, I wanted Quickley to start as point guard moving forward and utilize our money elsewhere. Obviously I am happy with Brunson, but and I knew that was a long shot because Quickley didn't even get to start down the stretch when Tibbs was just throwing lineups out there. But he finally got his 2 starts this year, right? This was the second game, right?
Yes, I believe it was the
second time.
And this is is this Brunson's second game missed, or did he start alongside Brunson the first game?
I think he started
alongside Brunson. Yeah.
Alongside Brunson.
Yeah. So yeah, this is actually his first start at point guard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So, I think I agree with what I was saying about can those or that question, can those skills translate over into the bench unit? But I do think it depends on the type of play that we do have coming off the bench with them in that bench unit, because if there's someone that's inferior as far as scoring is concerned, I don't believe we'll look at, or not us looking at it, but I don't believe it'll be a beneficial situation for IQ passing the ball to someone who's not a who can't get right. So it's really going to depend on that player.
My argument when we was talking about starting Quickley, pre Brunson, was he's developed as a passer. From last year to this year, we noticed that, but also playing alongside the Randles, the RJs, it's gonna minimize him just playing willy-nilly and just trying to score. He has to concentrate more on getting these 2 guys the ball, which is gonna limit his mistakes, his turnovers, and his reckless shooting and things of that. Like he has to make better decisions. So I think that's one thing that he did great tonight. You know what I mean? And if he could do that along, all the time, just low turnovers, that'll be a big plus for us.
Sim, forgive me for projecting, but listen, I think Quickley played well tonight. The assists, everything, all that stuff. But I think his role in the NBA is going to be 6-man, streaky scorer. That's what I think he is. Because I think that comes more natural to him than all other stuff. Not saying he can't learn other things. Of course he can. Everyone can learn. But I think at his core, I think that's who Quickley is going to be. But I mean, again, if he learns more stuff, cool. I just don't think we'll see that on this team, at least for right now.
I don't think it has to be 6-man though.
Well,
I think he could play the same role Maxey plays if he's surrounded by the talent that Maxey's surrounded by.
Yeah. Again, I think his role is going to be a streaky scorer. That's just who he is.
Scorer.
All that other stuff that he's going to develop. It's good that he's developing those things, but I think at core, that's just who Quickley is, because I think that stuff comes natural to him. All this other stuff.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, in his heart, that's what he is.
Yes,
that's what he is, right by nature. I definitely agree with that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, man, the Knicks took the L tonight in overtime. Bad one, but there's a lot of positive things to pull out of the game. It's just those last 33 seconds overshadows everything. You know what I mean?
It's him going into coach mode.
I mean, for real. I mean, there's a lot of good things to pull out. Those last 33 seconds overshadow everything and make it feel like It makes it feel like it's all bad, but it wasn't all bad. There were a lot of good things to pull out with this game. Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickley, both of those guys. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, 20 points and 16 rebounds. You know what I mean? Julius Randle almost had a 20-20 game. He had 29 points and 18 rebounds. Like this, definitely some good things to pull out of this. Miles McBride, 14 points. Has he ever had that high for the Knicks?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Never scored more than 14 points with the Knicks. Wow.
I think that might have tied his career high.
Definitely some good stuff that you can pull out of it. Just didn't come away with the win. Just imagine if the Knicks did come away with a win, how much we'd be gushing over what some of these players did tonight.
Who we play next?
San Antonio. Play San Antonio next.
On Wednesday?
On
Thursday?
Yes, on Thursday. And his career high is 15. 15. But yeah, on Thursday we play San Antonio, and then I think on Saturday we play Houston. Yep. And currently the New York Knicks 18-17. I mean, they were just 5 games above 500. 18-17.
Racing that whole 8-game win streak right now. We had a cushion, you know what I mean?
Had a nice little cushion.
Maybe not panic 3 games ago.
We were going to win 26 games in a row. We were going to win the championship.
Right, my man came on and said 26 games in a row.
You sound like a caller. A caller said that.
Caller said that. He did. He came on. He said, "All we gotta do is get past that Philly game. We win it 26."
Yeah, he had mad analytics too. He was like, we got this little 2-run stretch. we beat these 2 teams. Yeah, we going 36.
You know what I'm saying? He had it mapped out. But the Knicks, 18-17 now on the season, still in the 6th spot in the Eastern Conference, tied with the Indiana Pacers. Obviously, the Knicks are going to be above Indiana because they beat them. Indiana's 18-17. Miami 17-17. They're starting to creep up. The Hawks are 17-17. They're in the 9th spot, and the Toronto Raptors are 15-19. They're in the 10th spot in the Eastern Conference.
I think Chicago's on a winning streak too, right?
Chicago is.
They lost.
Yeah, they lost.
Okay, so their winning streak is snapped.
Yeah, it's snapped. Right now, the longest winning streak in the NBA is by the Brooklyn Nets at 9. 9-game winning streak. Yep, 9-game winning streak. The San Antonio Spurs are currently 11-23. As a matter of fact, the Spurs and the Rockets are 2 of the worst 4 teams in the league. All right, the Rockets are 10-24. The Spurs are 11-23. And
you can't sleep on neither.
Can't sleep on either one of them. You know what I mean? Because if the Knicks lose these 2 games, if they lose to San Antonio, then it's gonna be some problems.
Yeah, them chances gonna start again.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be some problems. So they got to come out and get these wins, and then I think they come back home for Phoenix. So see what happens, man. Hey, Josh, any last words before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say the Knicks are mediocre. The reason why I'm not so crazy about this loss, even though it's a tough one, is because, again, the Knicks don't have a player like Luka Doncic. That's what this team's missing. However, if they play the way they can play, they're going to be in every game, if not win a lot of games that we don't expect them to. So they just need to continue to play this style of basketball, obviously improve during the closing stretches of the games, and they're going to win some games. However, again, my expectations are not that high for this team. They're doing way better, not way better, but they're doing better than what I expected they were going to be doing at this point. Continue to move the basketball. You'll score points, continue to play tight defense, and you will compete and contend in every game. At this point, that's all I can ask for. I think we'll win a lot of those. So we'll see.
All right. Tony?
You know what else we ain't have tonight? A player like Jalen Brunson and a player like RJ Barrett. So, Knicks and Bruises tomorrow night. I don't know what time. Sometime between 6 and 9. You know, my bad. No show yesterday. I was doing the family thing and working, but I'm back.
Yeah.
Your blackest time.
Tomorrow,
Sim, appreciate you.
I'm gonna be gone most of the day tomorrow. I'm gonna try to do something in the morning, a video in the morning, and then post it. But at 2:00, I'm heading to Richmond to watch VCU play. With the girls basketball team, and that game don't start till 6. We're getting a tour of their basketball development facility, which is a dope facility. I've been in there before. It's super dope. Like, it's one of the best basketball development facilities in the country. You know,
I think he was telling me about it too.
It's crazy with like they got like underwater treadmills and all kinds of wild stuff in there. It's real dope. So we're taking the girls to see that, and then we're gonna watch the game. We probably won't get home until 11:30, 12 o'clock. So I don't even, if I could jump on from there, I might jump on and say hi or something like that. But it's probably gonna be difficult for me.
Appreciate you either way.
So ladies and gentlemen, I did want to give one last shout out to Kay Rogers. He said, this is a great stream. Appreciate it. So you guys are expressing the frustration of Knicks Nation very well tonight. Thank you. This is very entertaining. Yeah, we're glad we can take the bad taste of that game out of your mouth. You know what I mean?
We do that every night. What you talking about? Not just tonight. We do that every night.
Yeah, for real.
That's a fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, the Knicks Martin Luther King Day tickets. There's a link in the description of the video. Make sure you go jump in there. As soon as we're done, go jump in there and get your tickets. And then the Knicks versus the Washington Wizards in Washington, D.C. on January 13th. NBK is going to be there. Make sure you come in and get your tickets. And join us, ladies and gentlemen. All right, there's a link in the description of the video. Other than that, I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Peace.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.